Hello, this is Brian. Oh, this is Brian Hayden again. Um, we're continuing on with our discussion of stone tool technology. We were talking about flakes before, made with hard hammer. This is the flake, and I was demonstrating its use in cutting up leather or hides. It can also be used for woodworking, making spears. This is a spear from Australia that I brought back, or part of one. So this can be used in this fashion. There we go. Maybe I'll give you a close-up view of this. So basically using this to remove flake, little shavings from the spear and sharpen the point. Okay, so hopefully that's clear enough. Yeah, they're sort of the Swiss Army knives of the Paleolithic. They can be used almost for anything, cutting up meat, cutting up, sharpening wood, cutting hides, whatever you want. So very sharp little pieces of stone these are. So we'll go on to and talk about the second kind of um, flaking, and that is the bifacial flaking that's produces this kind of very thin object here, the biface. So this is a smaller version, and it's common in North America as well, used for knives and things like that. But it's quite a bit thicker and it's smaller, but it's basically made with the same technology. So the technology is often referred to, or this flaking technique is often referred to as billet flaking or soft hammer flaking. And so the stages are, you first create a little or big piece that with hard hammers, which creates a fairly thick kind of piece that you're working on, and you want to get it as thin as possible. And so we have, in order to do that, these specialized tools called billets, made of antler or hard woods, or in this case, it's a hardened resin. And so you need a specialized tool. And in order to remove flakes, you need to prepare the edge a bit. So strengthen it up. So we'll see how this one works here. Yeah. Okay. So we strengthen that up, and now we're going to be removing a flake from this edge here. So hopefully it works out. I haven't done this for a while, but we'll see. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what this does is it removed a flake which ideally goes up and over the top of this piece so that it thins it out as you remove flakes, and it only removes a little bit from the edge. So so that's the technique. If we had more time, we could go all around this piece and remove flakes from the perimeter and gradually thin it down. I would never get as thin as this Solutrean biface here. This is a masterpiece, just incredible. To try to get remove flakes from something this thin without breaking it is extremely difficult. Very few people in the world could do it today. So that's the bifacial technology. As I mentioned, this is the kind of feature that occurs in the eyes of the leopard. It's a central part of the story, and so this is what it's about. And these would have been extremely valuable in the past. The other thing I want to mention today is blades, because blades are characteristic of the Upper Paleolithic, but they require a lot of expertise and training to be able to make in a consistent fashion. And they were very, very adept at making blades in the Upper Paleolithic. They were constantly using them, and a lot of people have always wondered why people would go to so much time and effort to make them. Well, my idea on this is that these blades are extremely, well, the characteristic of them is they have long, sharp edges like this. If you have a small flake like this, you may find only one small part of the edge that's really useful. And the other edges, this one is all, it's what we call abrupt. It doesn't have any good cutting qualities. It's only this edge and this edge that do. Whereas the blades have much longer cutting edge on both sides, so that they're basically good cutting tools. In the Upper Paleolithic, people wanted to dry a lot of meat in order to store it for the winter. In order to do that, you need to cut meat in very thin slices so that it will dry quickly. And if you try to do that with a small flake like this, you get to cut into it a little bit here and there, but it's very tedious. It's very slow. It's not very efficient. If you want to take a modern counterpart, if you had a deer to butcher into long, thin slices, pieces of meat, would you rather use a penknife, a small penknife like this, with a small cutting edge, or would you rather use a butcher knife with a long cutting edge? If you're pressed for time, and people were in the past because there was a lot of meat to butcher, and you wanted to get it dry as fast as possible so that the flies don't get at it, maggots don't develop, and everything like that. So, my argument is that they had a lot of meat that they needed to butcher and dry quickly, and so that they were using blade technology. Here's some other blades. Blades are longer, these long kinds of flakes, basically. And that's why they developed blades. So, these also feature pretty prominently in the story in The Eyes of the Leopard. And so if you want to learn more about traditional technology and stone tools, I would encourage you to pick up a copy of The Eyes of the Leopard and read some more about it. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for today. It's been a smoky day, lots of wildfire smoke on the northwest coast here, but hopefully we brightened up your day a bit. Okay, take care. Bye.